When did you first get involved with the pits?
The following year.
Did they explain what it is you had to do?
No, you just figured it out. Leonard would send the lineup down for the race to begin with. Mm-hmm. We never did the feature race because we was too busy. By the time you figured two guys running that whole pit area, right, trying to line up the heat races and the semis, why, you didn't have time to sit down and figure out a feature race. Mm-hmm. So that was sent down from up on the flat scoring area.
Like a chalkboard or something that you wrote on?
Piece of paper.
Oh, so you went over to every car and said, this is the heat you're in, this is where you're going to line up.
Right, and this is the semi you're in, right here.
Now I get it. That's why you had to run all over heck.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, most of these guys, you didn't have trouble with the drivers. You had trouble with the pit crews.
Oh?
More than anything else. The drivers never give you a hard time to the pit crews. Some of the pit crews would give you a little hard time, but Floyd Finale, well, Floyd was a little hot if you touched his car.
Oh, is that right?
Floyd didn't like people banging his car. Well, I don't blame him. He put a lot of money and a lot of time in that car. Yeah, Tom Dill, he'd get out there and run like hell. And his boss, he rode for Mobilia.
Joe Mobilia?
Joe Mobilia. And he was a pain in the butt.
Why was that? What did he do that was
He's always trying to stand in the middle of the track entranceway. And Leonard would say, well, we got so. He'd be halfway out on the track, screaming.
What was he trying to do, help Tom? Or why did he feel he had to be out there?
I don't know. Nobody else had to be out there.
So it was your job to keep him back?
Yeah, keep him off the track. Keep him out of that entranceway into the track. Well, you couldn't do that. And then it got so half his crew was out there. I used to say Squirt was a dirty driver, but Squirt, he'd worry you to death. He'd be right on your tail. He'd be right on your side. But Squirt and Bobby, I don't think they ever took too many people out. Mm-hmm. The last few years I was up there, I would go out in the middle of the track on the turns 1 and 2 to watch for anybody that caused an accident. They went to the back of the field.
Ah.
Oh.
So I always watch, but the guys, he was Squirt and Bobby, they would run right up alongside of you. But they never, very seldom. I mean, unless you come down on them, why? And then it got so Squirt was running on the inside, and everybody else started running there, so he went to the outside.
Oh.
So Squirt. Squirt could run that Dodge of his out on the outside edge pretty good.
Was he the best during your time period?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. Him and Layfield and Stars was the best there was up there. Yeah. Feelings about it because I liked Dean. But everybody figured, you know, that's what he wanted. If he's going to die, that's why he was going to die. Because he wasn't going to give up racing. Right. If he was still alive today, he'd probably be out there racing somebody.
That's good.
You know, I think he'd race you for a quarter or for $5,000 or whatever. The thing I remember is trying to stop Floyd from Nellie from getting into a fight or something like that, but that was usually pretty normal. But Floyd was a, I don't know, sometimes he just blow. And his brother was the same. So,
His brother Bud?
Bud, they're both good guys. They're both good guys, but just a short temper, that's all.
How about the third brother, Vern? Was he,
Laverne,
was he the same way?
He was worse. He was a pain in the butt.
He was worse than the other two?
Well, you had to keep fighting him to keep him off the racetrack too, you know. And once in a while I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And he'd maybe kind of shake his little fist at you once in a while, but...
Was he the toughest?
No.
I mean...
I think Bud was probably.
Yeah.
Chuck's still alive?
Yeah.
They had nobody killed him yet.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't know. He was a wild man on the track.
Was he?
Yeah. What was it? Somebody had, I think it was Red or somebody, went over to his car one time and there was this, supposed to be a fire extinguisher there and there was a can of beer in there instead of the fire extinguisher.
You're kidding me.
Oh, no. He really was interested in is 1958 when they brought that NASCAR up here.
What do you remember about that race?
Well, they had 10 cars, I think, that night. And
10 NASCAR cars?
10 NASCAR.
That's it?
Yep. I got the lineup, I think, in that book I got in there. And Petty there, old man Petty,
Yeah.
come over and he says, well, do you have any local drivers? I said, yeah, but I said, their cars are not legal to run with you guys. He says, we need cars. He told Red and I, he said, we need cars. And he says, and I don't care what they are. He says, can you get them? Well, John Seeley was in the stands and Paul Wilson was in the stands and a few of the others. And Marv had one and they were all in the stands, so we went up and started talking to them. And we got them to go get their cars. And the steward for the NASCAR, he said, well, it has to be inspected. And Petty says, no, they don't. And he said, well, it has to join NASCAR. He says, no, they don't.
So Petty was pretty much the boss, huh?
Yeah. Well, they had about 10 cars. Or Shorty Rollins won the race.
Okay.
And yeah, that was, oh my goodness.
Why do you suppose there were only 10 cars that showed up?
Well, they had one in Bradford a week before or night before or week before, and they didn't have many down there. Squirt come up with a car, a strictly stock car, and if he'd had his regular front end underneath the car, he'd have won the race.
The one at Stateline?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He was leading it for a while there, but he could really run Stateline. He could really run that track. He could set a car up for that track.